What's going on, guys? Today in this video I'm going to be showing you how to install some custom LEDs inside of your PlayStation logo that's on your PS5. Now this will work either on the disc version or the digital version. So right now I'm using the disc version. Essentially all this mod consists of is just a simple $14 LED kit from Amazon, and as you can see everything is pretty small and compact, and it actually has the receiver built into that little tiny mechanism right there. So all you have to essentially do is just point to the IR remote directly towards that. You can change it to any color that you want. Now before we get started, I'm just going to go ahead and take off the side panel. As you see in my other videos, it's pretty simple. You just pick up the top part of it, and then you just nudge it from the top, and then it slides directly down. Now as you can see, this strip is it's actually pretty long, but the good part about it is that you can actually cut it to any length that you want. As you can see here, I'm going to try to go ahead and use 3 LEDs for this mod. So essentially all you want to do is just cut that copper contacts right there, right where that cut line is, and then you should be all set and good to go. Now this is actually the area where I want to install the LEDs, because there's actually this small kind of a divot that's inside the case. I'm assuming that this divot is obviously there for a little bit of an increase of airflow to go into the system. To be honest, I really doubt it's going to make any difference at all, so I'm not too worried about any thermal issues with the PS5. Yeah, as you can see here, I tried doing the 3 LEDs, but it was actually a little bit too long. So I actually went ahead and cut off another LED from those contacts. Also, as you can see here, that receiver, there's a wire that comes directly off the top of it where the IR receiver is. And what you have to do, we actually have to get rid of just this small little tiny piece that's on the console. So I'm just using just some plier cutters right here, and I'm just gonna snip those, snip it out of the way. And then we can just run that wire directly up through the top of the console. Since I have to put this IR receiver kind of higher than where the LED contacts are, I'm actually going to have to extend the wires to reach to the IR receiver. So all I did was just take 4 wires, as you can see here, and then I'm just going to tin them up, and then I'm just going to directly connect them to the LED strip, and then just essentially just directly put them inside the holes that are on that receiver module. You want to make sure that you line this up correctly. You just want to make sure that the LEDs are facing up, and then that the words on that receiver are facing up as well. And then you just can pretty much just want to go directly across and just put the wires directly in, and then that should essentially do it. Now I suppose if you don't have a soldering iron and you don't want to do this, you probably could find a 4-pin LED strip extender. I could try to see if I can find one on Amazon for you, and I'll put it in the description below, and then so that way there you can actually just skip this whole step. I just didn't have it on hand, and I just wanted to go ahead and do this pretty quick, and I just utilized the tools that I had. And there you go. After you do that, I'm just going to go ahead and test it, make sure it works, make sure all the lights work, because each wire does an individual light kind of, so you just want to cycle through them all and make sure everything's working. Now that we have all that cut up, and we're essentially just ready to install it onto the PS5. Pretty much that easy. So as you can see here, it just peels right off the bottom, and then we can just essentially just fold that receiver up, and then we can feed that wire directly through the top of the console. And as you can see, that IR receiver is sticking right out the top, and then I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue on the bottom just to make sure that it stays in there and it doesn't move around. And this is what I was talking about before, how it kind of hides away up on this groove at the top, so you're not going to have to worry about seeing it when you have your console displayed. So now that we have the LEDs installed, the next part we actually have to figure out a way on how to diffuse the light so that the light can evenly be distributed over that PlayStation logo. So I got this plastic cover that usually goes on top of salad. I mean, you can essentially use anything. You can use a plastic bottle if you want, a clear one, and then you should be all set. I just figured I would use this because it's nice and flat and it's going to be really easy to cut. So essentially all you want to do is just trace out the areas where you want to cut out, and as you can see here, I left 2 areas where the holes are. You want to make sure you don't cover that up, because that's actually a locking point for that top cover. And then once I cut it out, I just used some 400 grit sandpaper, and then I just made it as fogged up as I can. So now I'm just giving it a quick little test just to see how it's going to work out. And one thing you'll notice where I installed these LEDs, there is actually a mounting point for this plastic panel. We're going to actually have to get rid of this. So all I just did was just take some pliers and essentially just bends right off. Now there are so many mounting points on this panel, so just getting rid of one of them really isn't going to do anything. And after I did it, I tested it, made sure that the panel stays on nice, and it did not affect it at all. And there you go. This is me just showing you where that wire is exiting out at the top. As you can see, you can barely see it. And then even on the back of the console, when you put your panels back on, there's actually a channel that's on the side where you can also run the wire there as well. Now, if you are new to this channel, and this is the first time that you're watching one of my videos, I do want to show you guys a couple of videos that I have already done. So as you can see here, I have a custom hydro-dipped PS5 DualSense controller right here. Now, if you go on my channel or in the link down below, I'll put a link to this video. I'll show you how to hydro dip it and also install some LEDs as well. And then my future upcoming video, which should be out in about a week, or probably sooner than that actually, is my PS5 rapid fire mod chip install. So stay tuned for that if you're interested. Here is actually my giveaway controller. So once I hit 20,000 subscribers, I'm actually going to be giving away this custom LED PS5 controller. You're not going to want to miss that. All you have to do is go watch that video that's in the description. Just make sure you like that video and then you comment. And I'm going to pick one of the comments from that video, and then that's how I'm going to figure out who wins this controller. So make sure you're entered into that. Now without further ado, let's go ahead and dim the lights, and then we'll turn on my custom LED PS5.
What's wrong? Can't you talk? Hey, I don't bite. You and me, we're in a club now. Do you think you got what it takes?